You know, honestly, at halftime, I wasn't very happy, even though it was a close game, because I feel like we were being out-hustled. But we found a way, even with when we were being out-hustled, that we were still in the game. I think largely because we did a decent job defensively on them. The struggle truly came in the second half. And that struggle, and what we continuously preached to the team is that we had to do a great job of taking care of the basketball. We have to do a great job of taking good shots, and taking shots are in flow and not taking quick shots, because they are off to the races. And it's very evident now, taking a look at the stat sheet, that that's not what happened whatsoever. We have 21 points off of 21 turnovers. Very upsetting. 18 off the fast break. I'm mostly upset because this was very clear throughout the scouting report. This is what we discussed. This is the only way that they score, is by us turning over the basketball or taking ill-advised shots. We talked a lot about one of the things that Kaitlin can tell you I put on there. You know, against pressure teams, you got to be patient against pressure teams. And patience sometimes is very difficult when you're, you know, under duress. I get that. But the times that we were able to score, it was good to us. But then they did a good job of forcing certain players to take poor shots, or certain players to take early shots. So on those early shots, if it was our 1 or our 2, you know, we really struggled on getting back, because our 3, 4, 5 were supposed to get in there and rebound for us. It truly came down ultimately to the turnovers and bad shots. I think any coach will tell you in the country, you do that against a team who are the only way they score is in transition, then you're in trouble. And you know, that's what happened tonight, clearly.
So they kind of took away the paint, you know, driving lane, things like that. How much does that relate to the turnovers? You know, players maybe trying to go into the defense, create something for themselves?
I think from a player psychological standpoint, the kids that are used to driving, getting easy looks in the paint, I think they get disappointed because they don't have the easy look. But again, we talked a lot about that. Kid can tell you. We talked about the fact that you're going to get the drive baseline, but you're only going to get to the jumper. That's all you're going to get. You're not even going to be able to get the kick, because they do an excellent job of rotating. So understand where then the next pass is going to come from if you don't get it, or keep your dribble and come back out. So from a psychological standpoint, for sure, is, you know, sometimes when things are easy, they come easy for you. When a great defensive team takes it away, that's the make or break point. Are you going to be patient, or are you going to make an ill-advised shot, pass, you know, whatnot?
Coach, talk about that second quarter. First quarter looked like it was going to be a shootout. Both teams are shooting the ball really well. And then the second quarter, the game kind of ground to a halt. Talk about that second quarter.
Well, I think what you found was that we did a decent job defensively. They were out hustling us in a lot of different areas, and it threw us off of our offensive game, where again we were taking poor shots, to be honest with you. So it started really in that second quarter, and it's something that we talked about as far as making an adjustment at halftime, and that's why you found, you know, I think both teams are in the teens, scoring wise.
Okay, you know, talk about the facing that defense, you know, them hard hedging and, you know, keeping the paint pretty much kind of sealed from you guys. Talk about how you had to adjust, kind of being limited just to the perimeter, trying to make something happen.
I mean, like Coach said, we knew that was coming, and so we spent a lot of time in the practice attacking the hedge, and we did a pretty good job of that first quarter, which is why we got some open shots. And then for some reason we got away from it, and it just, if you don't attack it hard and go towards the paint, they don't help off, and then we don't get those open shots. And I think for some reason we just started driving around and letting them control us instead of controlling them.
Is that what you think happened in the second quarter?
I do.
I mean, you got off to a really good start, shooting the ball, got into
I think we stopped going down their gut in the paint, and I think they stopped helping off, and that's why our shots were just, they weren't there.
Talk about, you know, the game plan going against Kiki Veal. Was she kind of the person that you were like, okay, when they get on the break, she's the person to watch?
Yeah, I think the team was clearly aware that she's the heart of the team. She's the one who gets them going, especially as a senior. She's a great mid-range jump shooter. Has the ability, obviously, to shoot the 3-ball, but that's not really part of her game. They clearly understood that she's a leading scorer and she's the heart of their team. The kid can rebound as well. You know, I think they did a decent job on the Fields kid, with the exception, I think we need to do a better job of keeping her off those loose balls and plays. But Kiki did a great job as a mid-range jump shooter to put up 25 points. You know, that's not easy.
Did they show you guys, Coach, did they show you guys anything different than they did in Louisiana? Or was it
Just one offense that they ran. They showed it against UTA where they flashed someone. But no, they're not any different team than who we saw earlier. They're a team who was probably upset that they lost, and they're probably getting feel a pretty good high coming off a UTA win. And so I think really and truly it was just those two factors that got them going. And when you're close in the game and you're on the road, that's a great feeling when you're on the road and you're staying close in a game.
And talk about where you guys stand right now as far as conference.
You know, I haven't focused on that, I'll be honest with you, Mark, as much as I focused on us getting better. And us getting better, you know, is going to be important to me that we bounce back. So we've had 2 pretty good games back-to-back. Not stellar, but pretty good games. So now how we're going to take it on the road, knowing that we're coming up against phenomenal defensive teams. It's very difficult to play in Jonesboro. We have that game first. And of course, you know, Coach Foley rests his hat on his defense. It's what he does. It's what has got him, you know, all of his conference championships and NCAA bids that he's had. So this game is critical from that standpoint because we cannot turn the ball over. We cannot take bad shots against great defensive teams. So for me, I'm focusing on us right now, that we understand. I know our staff is going to work hard to continue to get the team prepared. So I think that's really important that we focus on us versus worry about where we are in conference standings. Because as I start to do that, then I'm really losing sight of what's important, and that's that these young ladies get better as a team. Because I am confident, all right, that if we get better as a team, we're going to be there.